Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the internet, happy Friday to you. This is Coach Kyle coming to you from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Maps Coach Agent, all the things. Happy to share with you your daily checkup from the neck up. Guys, thanks for being here today. Man, thanks for being here every day. This is episode 173. We've done a lot of these things, and you guys keep continuing to show up. I know we'll even have some new faces today, so thank you. It is appreciated. We like hanging out with you. We like pouring into you, and we like setting up your day for success. So again, man, appreciate that. Appreciate you being here. It means a lot. So let's talk about what we're going to get into today. What are we going to talk about? Well, this whole week, we've been focused on Quitters Week. For New Year's resolutions, more often than not, if this is your first time here this week is when most people quit. It's when they give up on their resolutions. It's when they maybe have failed, stumbled, tripped, and they say, you know what, maybe next year, even though we're only a couple weeks into the year. We heard from Coach Hudson Warren about things that you probably should quit. We heard from me about failure and coming to terms with that and understanding appropriate time horizons and giving yourself grace. And we heard from bold coach Stephen McNair yesterday talking about accountability, talking about self-awareness and how that shows up. Guys, all these factors help us push forward if we've chosen to quit. Maybe it'll help us reverse that decision. These things help us with the idea of failure. I've got news for you. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it until I die. If you ain't failing, you probably ain't trying. If you ain't failing, you're probably living too much inside the comfort zone. And as has been said by every motivational speaker or business person from the dawn of time, there is no growth inside of the comfort zone. So speaking of motivational speakers, authors, business people, we are going to continue today with our book study. We have been diving into John Maxwell and the 16 undeniable laws of communication. This week, this day, guys, it is one I want you to listen to, one I want you to buckle up, put your listening ears on and hear me. Whether you're reading this book, whether you like John Maxwell or not, doesn't matter, because the content today is super applicable in your relationships, in your business, just about anywhere. This law, for those of you who are not reading the book, is so good. It's called the law of connecting. The law of connecting. We have to get better at connecting with people. We have to get better at establishing rapport, at establishing relationships quickly. So he dives in here. He says the law of connecting is by far the most important idea in this book. So, hey, guys, I'm going to save you a read. If you're not listening, here you go. Here's the most important law out of the 16. So he goes on to say this: people who focus on themselves seek to gain attention. Speakers who focus on content give out information. Communicators who focus on others make a connection. Let's do something here. Let's replace some of those words. Agents who focus on themselves seek only to gain attention. Agents who focus on data and only content give out information. But real estate professionals who focus on their clients make a connection. Like Kendra Scott says, make the connection before you make the sale. Guys, people will receive more from a communicator with average content who connects than they will ever from a speaker with great content who never connects. I've seen this firsthand. I'm sure you have, whether it's been at a conference, a training, a course, a class. Guys, a speaker who has just a mediocre message yet connects with you, makes it relatable, makes it important, shows you how it applies to your life, will trump someone with the best data who doesn't connect at all. Keep that in mind, man, when we're talking with our clients, when we're on consultations, when we're dealing with a buyer, a seller at a listing. Guys, before you go into the data, Before you start talking about the market of the moment and what the sales are, understand why it's important to them. Make the connection first. When you make the connection first and you make it about them, you don't have to necessarily be the top person in the world at data breakdowns. You don't have to be the top listing agent. There are so many sellers and buyers out there who choose to work with someone because they see them, because they see their situation, because they make it about them. If you are a brand new agent or an agent who's growing their business, listen up, Jack. Worry about connecting with the people first and foremost. How can you help them? John Maxwell struggled with this in his life, and he talked about a certain time on a trip with his family, and he didn't get his way. And because he didn't get his way, he pouted. And by the way, guys, this isn't as like a small child. He's fairly grown at this point. He pouted, and he made a negative impact on everybody else on the trip. And here's why this is important. His dad sat him down. And I'm certain, in a true dad a talking to, gave him what he called the rules of dad. Number one, listen up, ladies and gentlemen. It's not about you. It's about others. Get over yourself. Oof. Number two, immature people see things only from their perspective. Immature people see things only from their own perspective. I would also add to that, man, ineffective business people only see things from their own perspective. Number three, mature people see things from the perspective of others. Said another way, the most effective business people, the most effective entrepreneurs will see things from others' eyes. They will put themselves in their shoes. They will walk a mile in their shoes. Number four, immature people are seldom successful, and they are never significant. Immature people are seldom successful, and they are never significant. These are some jammer rules, man. Guys, listen to these, write these down, resonate with them, meditate on them. They're very foundational to us in business. This isn't just hoogie bougie, let's feel good stuff. Guys, this is like laws of your communication, of your business, of connecting with clients. Either listen to them and apply them or ignore them at your own peril. The choice is yours. He goes on to say in the book, connecting is job number one. Whether you are talking to one person one-on-one or just speaking to a group of people, as we got to always remember, connection is what is most important. Another thing that he brings up in here, and I love this one, and this one smoked me right between the eyes as I was preparing for this show. It's the big picture principle. The entire population of the world, with one minor exception, is composed of other people. The entire population of the world, with one minor exception, is composed of other people. It's not about you. It's not. I will go out on a limb here and say some of the times humanity is the happiest, the most fulfilled, is when they are focused on growing, helping, and achieving things with other people and for other people. We often do more for others than we'll do for ourselves. The entire population of the world, minus one exception, is about other people. He goes on to talk about first impressions. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the internet, we've heard this before. You've probably heard it growing up. First impressions are super important. Psychologists and some scientists out there have found that it takes about 7 seconds for someone to sum you up on the first impression. It takes about 7 seconds for someone to choose whether they're going to like you or not like you. And once they make that choice, it is very hard to change. And once they make that choice, it begins to color the interaction henceforth. We have to understand that it takes 7 seconds. Now, guys, you learn more from my failures than my successes. This is something I still struggle with. And here's why. See if you resonate with this. As a speaker, a professional trainer, someone who travels around, people often think that I am a huge social butterfly and that I get filled on social interactions. I'm an extrovert. I'm not. I'm actually a super introverted extrovert, or super whatever. I'm very introverted and I flex into extroversion sometimes. In fact, guys, social situations tend to drain me a lot. I also tend to get socially awkward. I do not love being in a room full of strangers. So this is a challenge for me sometimes. And how that shows up is sometimes when I meet someone for the first time or I'm in a group and being introduced, I'm a little quiet, standoffish, held back. And most of that is because I'm in my own head dealing with my own social anxieties. Here's the trouble with that. In the first 7 seconds, they're summing you up. They're choosing whether they're going to like you or not, regardless of the fact that you're going through an internal battle on sociability. So keep that in mind, man. This is something I'm continually working on, continually struggling with is how can I push through my comfort zone and make a connection very quickly? John goes on to say this, and it's a really good idea, and I'm going to begin to apply it to my own life. He says within the first 30 seconds, he seeks to say something encouraging about or to the other person. In the first 30 seconds of interaction, he seeks to say something encouraging, uplifting, gratitude-wise about the other person. It changes the conversation. It sets it off on a whole new path, a great one. Guys, I would challenge you to start trying to apply that principle. The first 30 seconds of meeting someone, what can you say about them? Make it a game. Make it a challenge. Hey, what can I say encouraging about this person? Very quickly. And make sure it's meaningful. People can tell, Stephen talked about this yesterday, your BS, right? Your believability scale. If you are going to do this, make sure that you're saying something heartfelt. You're saying something true. You're saying something that you actually mean. Because people can tell when you're not being truthful. They go on, there's another great quote in this book, and it's from Lisa Kirk. And it says this, it says, a gossip is one who talks to you about others. A bore is one who talks to you about himself. And a brilliant conversationalist is one who talks to you about yourself. Don't be a bore. Don't be a gossip. Be a brilliant conversationalist. Talk to other people about them. What are their hopes? What are their dreams? What lights them up? What sets their soul on fire? What are their goals? What are they struggling with? Ask questions. This applies to us on consultations. It applies to us with clients. It applies to us in our personal relationships outside of work. Be genuinely curious about the other person and watch how your connection increases. Jim Rome says, start with where people are before you take them where they want to go. Start with where people are before you take them where they want to go. On a listing appointment, start with where they are. Start with where they are. Start with where they are. Ask them questions about their life, their situation, what's going on before we start selling and telling. Again, we've got to make a connection before we make the sale. The next principle here that he talks about is the approachability principle. The approachability principle. And it goes like this. Being at ease with yourself helps others be at ease with you. Being at ease, being comfortable in your own skin helps other people do the same. It helps other people be at ease with you and themselves. This is something that I've definitely grown into over the past few years. I've really just started just being me, quirky, awkward, whatever. I'm just going to be me, guys, and having that confidence and that just comfortability, just being who I am. Number one, it makes my life better because I'm not putting on a show. I'm not putting on an act. I'm not trying to be something I'm not. And two, what I have found, just like he says, it makes other conversations more genuine. In fact, more often than not, it lets other people be themselves. Guys, we're all a little weird. We're all a little quirky. We're all nerds. We're all dorks like everybody is, man. Embrace it. Stop hiding from it. You're cool. I like you. Like yourself. Stop pretending to be something you're not. Stop pretending to act like what the world thinks you're supposed to act like, because it's usually not even effective. So make sure as we move forward that we're being us. We're being who we're supposed to be. I love this principle. And I trust that you're going to begin the process of being comfortable in your own skin if you're not. The last few things he talks about is charisma. Guys, charisma is present in people who focus on others. Charisma is present in people who focus on others. Charismatic communicators project confidence. And here's how they project confidence. And this is cool because it might be a little counterintuitive to what you think. He says, charismatic people project confidence because they believe the best about people. Think about the confidence you walk into in relationships and conversations when you're truly giving someone the benefit of being the best person that they are. Believe the best in other people. The next thing he says about charismatic, wow, that's a word twister today, right? Charismatic communicators. They know that the content of your message has helped you. You got to know that the content of your message has helped you. It's done something for you. Charismatic communicators also know that it will help the other people. So my content, what gives me confidence, knows that it has helped me, and I trust and I know that it'll help you as well. Just like when I was talking about the 30-second rule. I know that that is going to help me, and I trust it's going to help you. Talking about being at ease with myself. I know that it has helped me, and I know it's going to help you too. That's where that confidence comes from. And last, they said they believe that the response will be positive. I believe that when I go into a communication setting, when I go into a relationship setting, whether it's one-to-one or a group, I trust that it's going to be a positive response. Guys, having that builds confidence. It also builds a feeling of safety and security. And when we're safe and secure, we're more apt to be ourselves. And when we're more apt to be ourselves, we put other people at ease. And when we put other people at ease, we build stronger connections. Lastly, they say that charismatic people create a feeling of warmth. I was on a call yesterday for Keller Williams Young Professionals Leadership. It was a whole bunch of leaders, and there was a person I've never met before, and he spoke up and shared. His name was Brandon, out of Houston, I believe, and I just got such a feeling of warmth for this person. I even texted someone. I was like, "Man, that is just a warm fella." And his feeling of warmth that it gave me, guess what? I don't know this guy from Adam. I heard him talk for like 10 seconds. And I was like, I like that person. Why? Because of the feeling of warmth that he was projecting out into the world. Guys, go out there and start creating connections through warmth. This is a little bit of the book today, man. I trust that you're going to take some nuggets out of this and begin to apply them. I am so happy to be on this journey with you guys. Go out and make today a great one. Happy Friday. Remember, it does not matter what has happened in the past. It does not matter if you've stumbled. It doesn't matter if you've failed. What are we going to do about it now? Are we going to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves out, and go play the hand that we're dealt like we are the third monkey on earth and it's starting to rain and we got to get on the ark? Let's go do everything that we can in our power to make this life the best possible. I believe in you. I love you. And guys, I will see you next week. Have a good one.